What's going on, everybody? Joshua Salvetti, and welcome to the High Performance Trader. So I have a video today, right? I have a lesson that is probably going to change your life and your perception of the market forever. So I talk with tons of traders on a daily basis, and I've finally identified and realized, right, one of the main issues, one of the main problems and thresholds that keep traders from consistency, right, that keep them from ever reaching, profitability day in and day out, week in and week out, year in and year out, right? It all boils down to market psychology. It all boils down to your perception of the market, right? Your ability to identify live opportunities, right, in the moment, right, in the now moment, right? And I struggled with this for so long as a trader, right? And I really didn't really learn to understand it until I started studying Mark Douglas extensively, right? So in this video, I basically just want to break down the importance of your mental framework, right? How your lifestyle outside of the market will affect your bank account and your trading account inside of the market, right? Because the market is nothing other than selective human behavior, right? It's filled with panic, right? It's filled with super bullish scenarios, right? It's basically built. Actually, I'm sorry, it is 100% built on nothing other than human behavior, right? So us as retail traders, we cannot move the market, right? We do not have the ability, the funds, or the influence to move the market, right? So every single time you see a candlestick, right, and especially on larger time frames, right, and heavy volume, you guys got to look at these numbers like real quick. Let's just check out the 1 minute. A 1 minute candlestick has over 500,000 shares bought in 1 minute of the QQQ, right? So that's literally over $50 million every minute is flowing through this market, right? So you have to understand something. We as retail cannot control or influence price action, right? So what does that mean? Since you and I cannot physically or tangibly make the price go up, right, on the S&P 500 or on anything, that means our edge lies with smart money, right? Our opportunities that we must identify day in and day out to make money is nothing other than identifying smart money stepping in and out of the market, right? So we use our skills in price and volume analysis, technical, whatever your edge is, to identify these chart patterns, right? And these chart patterns are nothing other than selective human behavior, right? So real quick, I just want to break down or read something that I wrote about chart patterns and basically what a chart pattern is. So a chart pattern is, and hold on one second, let me, I threw this right in the Discord too. Okay, so a chart pattern is a price pattern. Price patterns that are observable, quantifiable, meaning they can be measured, and repeat themselves with statistical reliability, right? That's why you have to log your trades. Patterns basically measure the collective mind of the market, indicating when there is a higher probability of one thing happening over another. The collective mind of the market, right? It is nothing more than selective human behavior, right? That is everything that a chart pattern is, right? And basically, our job as traders is to identify these chart patterns, right? Especially in these specific areas of value. So let's break down what an area of value is, right? We all talk supply and demand. We all trade price and volume analysis. If you don't, you must, right? Because that is the introduction to understanding what the market auction actually represents, right? So until you understand what the market auction represents, right, supply, demand, you will not become. I mean, it's a massive edge, right, to understand what the auction represents. So basically, our strategy, right, of price and volume analysis is to identify supply and demand zones, or like what I like to call them, areas of value I'm looking to capture moves in, right? So every single day I will identify specific areas or levels, right, that I am looking for price to come into and react in, right? extremely important, right? And I know I just made a video lesson on this, but look at QQQ, right? This was on Friday, March 10th, 2023. QQQ comes into this demand zone, right, of 289, right? We'll call it 289. Look at the volume spike, right? The volume spike rips through the roof once we enter this demand zone, right? Indicating that smart money has stepped into the equation, right? You can see here QQQ then makes a $5 move, which on options is over like 500% return, right? It's insane. So our job as traders is to identify the smart money, right? So what does this have to do with market psychology, right? So once you understand, right, that your edge relies in someone else's ability, you then finally understand that you cannot control it. You becoming profitable is not based on your abilities. It's not based on your technical analysis, right? Yes, or your price and volume analysis. That does help you identify it, right? But to put on a good trade, right, at the most simplest level, all what you have to do is click a button. You can physically, to put on a good trade, all what you have to do is click the mouse. Your technical analysis helps you in price and volume analysis, helps you identify specific areas, right? But to put on a profitable trade takes nothing but a click of a mouse. So once you can understand, right, that you do not control the outcome and that you are relying on smart money, right, to fulfill your strategy, once you have that mental framework, you then can enter a trade and be able to get out like that. And why do I say that? Because if you enter a trade and smart money does not show up in the direction you want, that is everything you need to know to cut your losses quick. The reason why people have these trading errors, right, like holding on to their trades too long, right, chasing trades, taking profits too early, is all based on fear. It is all based on anxiety and fear that come from your mental framework of being burnt in the past, right? So this is very important. So once you get burnt in the past, right, then you are now fearful that these candles are going to actually cause you pain. If you get in this trade, now these candles have no way of causing you pain until you give them that power, right? And why do they have that power? Because your beliefs and expectations of your analysis is that this is how I'm going to make money. I believe I studied for this long and I deserve to make this amount of money, right? So let's just bring it back real quick. So the reason we think that way, right, that our actions make us money is because as children and throughout life, we've been taught and programmed, right, that the harder you work, the more you deserve. The market has nothing to do with hard work. It has, and let me rephrase that. The market has nothing to do with your ability to fluctuate price. You cannot change price, right? A lot of hard work goes into understanding the market, right? But if you don't understand this properly, you can work as hard as you want and never make a dime, right? So now that we understand that fear and emotion come from being burnt in the past and it comes from the wrong expectations and beliefs, right? Now we can understand going forward, maybe my expectations are wrong, right? Because one thing I used to struggle with as a trader is I would stay up, I would focus, and I would run so many scenarios. I would have all these continuous and crazy indicators that I would rely on, right? And then when I would be in a bad trade, I couldn't stop out of the trade because I couldn't understand, right? I couldn't understand that the RSI was at oversold and buyers weren't stepping in. I was taught that that is how it works, right? Wrong, right? That is how you fail because once again, you are putting your success based on your abilities to identify an indicator that anyone can use. How do you expect to have an edge that everybody can use? Right? So the market is a very unstructured. This is another reason, right? The market is a very unstructured environment. There is absolutely no rules in this market, right? And what I mean by rules is you as a trader have no rules. You are allowed to show up to this game whenever you want, however you want, and make whatever moves you want. You can get in here, here, here. There's over millions of scenarios you can identify, right? no one is going to tell you that you are right or wrong, right? You could get in a losing trade, walk away from your computer, and lose all your money, right? No one is going to tell you that you are losing or that you are wrong, right? Because at the end of the day, you have absolutely the most freedom in the world in this market, right? So it's very important to understand how unstructured this environment is, right? So now that you understand that it's unstructured, right, and you can come here and basically do whatever you would like, right? You need to become a structured individual, right? Until you are a structured individual, if you act with mysterious behavior, the market is going to seem mysterious. Unless you have a systematic approach that you can do daily that is simple, you are going to get crazy results on this market, right? So that is why I'm constantly making videos. I'm constantly preaching, right, that you must become a structured and disciplined individual mentally to become a disciplined and profitable, consistent trader, right? So many traders think that they can sleep until when they want. They don't have to read any books, right? And that if they follow the right person, they're just going to be able to watch his alerts and make money, which is possible. But once again, you are not controlling your future. You are putting that in the hands of another man or woman, and that is not the way that you want to become successful. It's not how it works. Everything takes hard work, and you need to be able to work on yourself and your beliefs as a trader and as a person to become successful. Right, so I just wanted to really break down some market psychology real quick. Go check out The Disciplined Trader. Read it a million times, right? Because that is the one book that is going. Mark Douglas does a phenomenal job of breaking down market psychology. I think so many traders get it wrong and don't take it seriously, right? So if you like this video, please like it, subscribe, give a thumbs up, right? And I will see you in the next lesson.